Nestled in a corner of the village was an old mansion, which people knew as Kala Mahal. That palace had been lying deserted for decades. No one went near that palace, because people believed that a terrible spirit resided there. There were many stories related to this palace in the village, but one of them was the most popular story, a story which made the entire village tremble. There lived a fearless and curious young man named Hero in the village. Hero loved playing with mysteries. He had heard about the Black Castle since childhood, and always wanted to know what was there that everyone was afraid of. The hero decided that he would solve the mystery of that palace himself. One night, when the sky was covered with dark clouds, and the winds were blowing strongly, the hero decided to implement the plan. He reached the palace with some of his friends. All the friends were scared, but the hero had courage and curiosity had drawn him there. Near the palace, as soon as we reached, everyone's heartbeats increased. The atmosphere there was filled with silence, as if an invisible power is watching them. The hero placed his hand on the door of the palace and tried to open it. The door opened with a loud screaming sound. The scene inside was even more horrifying. There were black stains on the walls, and old cobwebs strewn across the floor. As soon as we entered the palace, there was a gust of cold wind, due to which everyone's soul shivered. "Let's go inside," said Hero, and his friends timidly followed him. As soon as we entered the palace, a strange sound started coming, like the sound of someone crying. Everyone looked at each other, and fear was clearly visible on their faces. The hero took out his torch and started moving towards the palace. The light of his torch was moving forward, cutting the darkness. Then suddenly he saw blood stains on the door of a room. He tried to open the door, but it was locked. Hero applied force, and the door opened with a bang. Everyone was shocked to see the inside scene. A woman wrapped in white clothes was sitting on an old chair in the middle of the room. Her long hair was on her face, due to which her face was not visible. The hero, feeling scared, decided to move towards the woman. As soon as he reached near her, there was a sudden movement in the woman's body and she slowly started raising her head. Hero screamed after seeing the woman's face. She was no ordinary woman, but a terrible spirit. There were deep wounds on his face, and his eyes were filled with blood. A chill ran through Hero's body, but he did not lose courage. "Who are you? And what are you doing here?" Hero asked tremblingly. The soul said in a pitiful voice, "I am the former queen of this palace. I was imprisoned here, and my own people put me to death. My life ended here, and my soul wanders here." The hero tried to understand what this spirit wanted. "How will your soul attain salvation?" he asked. The soul took a deep breath and said, "I want justice. My murderers should be punished. Until they are punished, I will keep wandering in this palace." The hero decided that he would leave from here only after liberating the queen's soul. He asked the soul, "Who were your murderers?" The soul remained silent for some time. Then he said, "The village sarpanch and his associates, they are my murderers. They murdered me so that they could capture this palace and loot my property." The hero decided to gather evidence against the sarpanch and his associates. He immediately returned to the village with his friends and started inquiring about the incident from the elders there. Slowly the truth started coming out. The hero learns that many years ago, the Maharani was treacherously killed by the greedy sarpanch of the village and his cronies, and the palace was left deserted. The hero collected all the evidence and presented it before the village panchayat. As soon as the truth came out, the sarpanch and his companions started trembling with fear. The villagers immediately caught him and he was given severe punishment. After doing all this work, the hero once again turned to Kala Mahal. He went back to the room where the queen's soul was bound. This time, there was lightness in the air. The queen's spirit thanked the hero and said, "You have given me justice. Now I can go in peace." The hero watched as the queen's soul slowly vanished into thin air, and the darkness of the palace slowly began to fade away. Now there was no fear in the palace, nor any terrible sound. The atmosphere of the palace was filled with peace. The hero said to himself, "I have accomplished what I set out to do." The villagers appreciated the hero's bravery, and the Kala Mahal now came to be known as the Peace Mahal. From that day onwards, the area around the palace was always peaceful and safe. This story of the hero inspired not only the villagers but also the people coming from faraway places. He proved that it is possible to overcome fear, and when we stand for a noble cause, no evil can do us any harm. In this way, the hero erased an old fear and laid the foundation of a new story, one that will always inspire people.